Breaking news tonight. The James Webb Space Telescope, humanity's most powerful eye on the cosmos, has just made a discovery so profound, so utterly impossible by current scientific understanding, that it threatens to shatter everything we thought we knew about the universe and our place within it. Official channels are already scrambling, downplaying the data, but the truth, as always, has a way of leaking out. We have received information, backed by preliminary spectral analysis from independent sources, suggesting that a newly identified exoplanet, light years from Earth, possesses an atmosphere so unnatural, so laden with complex compounds that could only be artificial, that it screams of one thing: an advanced industrial alien civilization. The question on everyone's lips tonight: is this finally the undeniable proof of intelligent extraterrestrial life? And more importantly, what is NASA desperately trying to hide from us this time? Stay with us as we unpack the data that NASA doesn't want you to see. The James Webb Space Telescope, launched with promises of revolutionizing astrophysics, has been delivering breathtaking images and unprecedented insights into the early universe. Its primary mission includes the characterization of exoplanets, distant worlds orbiting other stars, with a particular focus on identifying those that might harbor life. We've been told to look for biosignatures: oxygen, methane, water vapor, the telltale signs of simple, perhaps microbial life. But what if the JWST found something far more significant? Something that points not just to life, but to intelligence, to technology, to a civilization potentially far older and more advanced than our own. Our sources indicate that within the last few weeks, during a targeted observation of a red dwarf star system designated Gliese Arauhua 749, approximately 39 light-years from Earth, the JWST focused its powerful instruments on a planet candidate, now catalogued as GA 749b. This planet, believed to be a super-Earth roughly 1.5 times the size of our own world, orbits within its star's habitable zone, the region where temperatures could allow for liquid water. Standard procedure, you might think, but the atmospheric data returned from GA 749b was anything but standard. The initial heavily sanitized press release from NASA spoke of interesting atmospheric constituents requiring further study. A spokesperson, Dr. Evelyn Hayes, a name you'll likely never hear again in connection with this, stated, and I quote, "The preliminary data from GA 749b presents a complex atmospheric profile with several unidentified spectral lines. We are cautiously optimistic about its potential, but stress that extensive further analysis is required before any definitive conclusions can be drawn." Cautiously optimistic, complex atmospheric profile. This is the kind of bland, bureaucratic doublespeak designed to placate the public, while the real discussions happen behind heavily reinforced closed doors. But what Dr. Hayes and NASA are not telling you is what those unidentified spectral lines are increasingly pointing towards: leaked preliminary analyses passed to us by individuals brave enough to risk their careers for the sake of truth, paint a vastly different and frankly terrifying picture. The spectral data for GA 749b shows significant, undeniable traces of complex chlorofluorocarbons, specifically CFC-12 and CFC-113, as well as high concentrations of tetrafluoromethane and sulfur hexafluoride. For those of you not versed in atmospheric chemistry, let me be clear: these are not naturally occurring compounds. These are industrial pollutants. These are gases that, on Earth, are almost exclusively the byproduct of advanced manufacturing processes, refrigeration, and high-technology electrical insulation. They are, in essence, the chemical fingerprints of a highly industrialized society. To find these compounds in the atmosphere of an alien world is not just interesting, it's impossible by any known natural astrophysical process. Stars don't create CFCs. Nebulae don't condense into planets breathing out tetrafluoromethane. These molecules are complex, and their formation requires specific targeted chemical engineering, or, at the very least, widespread industrial processes that release them as byproducts. Dr. Aris Thorne, a brilliant but ostracized astrophysicist who was reportedly dismissed from a prominent European space agency for pursuing unconventional research into alien technosignatures, had this to say when presented with the anonymized raw data. The signature is unmistakable. These are not trace elements. The concentrations suggested by these spectral lines are indicative of an atmospheric composition significantly altered by artificial means. To suggest otherwise is to willfully ignore the evidence. We are looking at a planet either currently undergoing, or having recently undergone, massive uncontrolled industrial activity on a planetary scale. So why the silence from NASA? Why the obfuscation? The official narrative, if they are ever forced to admit even a fraction of this, will likely be instrument error, data contamination, or an unknown natural phenomenon mimicking artificial signals. We've heard it all before. Every time a piece of evidence emerges that challenges their carefully constructed reality, the shutters come down. But the sheer strength of these signals, the consistency across multiple observation windows by the JWST, makes those excuses increasingly difficult to maintain. Could it be that the implications are simply too vast, too paradigm-shattering for them to handle? Are they afraid of global panic? Or is there a more sinister reason? Are they under orders from higher up the chain of command to suppress this information, to manage the narrative, to prevent humanity from knowing the truth? That we are not alone, and that out there are civilizations whose technological footprint dwarfs our own. This isn't the first time hints of such things have emerged. Remember Tabby's star KIC 846285 with its bizarre, inexplicable dimming patterns. Mainstream science eventually settled on dust clouds, a convenient if unsatisfying explanation. What if it wasn't dust? What if it was evidence of megastructures, Dyson swarms, something truly alien? What about the persistent, strange, fast radio bursts, or the Oumuamua object that defied easy categorization? Each time, official science offered mundane explanations, often after significant internal debate, and anyone suggesting an extraterrestrial technological origin was dismissed as a crank. But the skeptical seeker, the viewer like you, knows that where there's smoke, there's often fire, or in this case, industrial smog on an alien world. The data from GA749b doesn't just stop at atmospheric pollutants. Further, more subtle analyses of the light curves from the planet, again from our independent sources, suggest non-uniform thermal signatures across its surface. While NASA will claim these are merely variations in cloud cover or geological activity, some interpretations point towards massive, concentrated heat islands, consistent with what one might expect from sprawling urban industrial complexes on a planetary scale. There are even whispers, unconfirmed at this stage, of faint rhythmic modulations in the planet's reflected light, almost imperceptible, that some are speculating could be the nighttime glow of artificial illumination. Think about that. City lights on another world seen from 39 light-years away. What we are witnessing, if this data holds true, is not just a smoking gun. It's a planet-sized bellowing factory siren announcing its presence to the cosmos. And the James Webb Space Telescope, the very instrument designed by the establishment, has become the reluctant harbinger of this truth. The question is no longer, are we alone? The data from GA749b screams no. The question now becomes, who are they? What kind of civilization produces an atmosphere so choked with industrial byproducts? Are they like us, perhaps a few centuries or millennia ahead, already grappling with the consequences of their own technological advancement? Or are they something different? Something that has mastered its environment to such a degree that planetary-scale atmospheric alteration is a trivial matter. Let's delve deeper into these impossible compounds. Chlorofluorocarbons, as we know from our own painful experience on Earth, are potent greenhouse gases and ozone depleters. Their presence in such high concentrations on GA749b could indicate a runaway greenhouse effect, a planet perhaps rendered uninhabitable or on the brink of ecological collapse by its own inhabitants. Is this a warning from the stars? A chilling glimpse into a potential future for humanity if we don't change our ways? Or is it something else? Perhaps a civilization so advanced that they use these compounds for purposes we can't even conceive of, terraforming on a colossal scale, atmospheric engineering for a non-carbon-based life form, or even as a deliberate, albeit polluting, byproduct of energy generation that far exceeds anything on Earth. Sulfur hexafluoride is another damning piece of evidence. On Earth, it's used primarily as an electrical insulator in high-voltage equipment. Its presence in an alien atmosphere suggests incredibly advanced and widespread electrical power systems. Tetrafluoromethane, while having some niche industrial uses, is also incredibly stable and has an atmospheric lifetime of thousands of years. Its detection means that whatever processes are creating it have likely been ongoing for a very, very long time. This isn't a civilization that just discovered fire. This is a civilization that has likely been industrialized for millennia, perhaps even hundreds of millennia. And this is where the payoff truly begins for those who have always suspected the truth. The official explanations will crumble under the weight of this evidence if it is ever fully released. NASA, and by extension the global governmental apparatus they are a part of, has consistently portrayed space as vast, empty, and sterile, with the occasional tantalizing hint of microbial life far away. This narrative serves to keep humanity focused inward, manageable, and unquestioning of authority. But a discovery like GA749b, with its undeniable techno-signatures, blows that narrative to pieces. It confirms the suspicions of millions, the gut feeling that something immense, something transformative, has been deliberately kept from us. Let's look at the specific spectral lines that our independent analysts have highlighted. Imagine a graph with wavelength along the bottom and signal strength up the side. In the regions corresponding to CFC12, there isn't just a blip, there's a massive absorption feature, a deep valley in the graph indicating that something in GA749b Earth's atmosphere is soaking up starlight at precisely those wavelengths. NASA's internal memos, the ones they don't want you to read, reportedly show frantic attempts to model natural phenomena that could replicate these signatures. So far, every attempt has failed. No known combination of natural geology, atmospheric chemistry, or stellar radiation can produce this specific cocktail of compounds in these concentrations. The conclusion, suppressed but unavoidable, is artificial origin. Think of the implications. If one such planet is found within just 39 light-years in what is essentially our cosmic backyard, how many more are out there? The galaxy is vast, with hundreds of billions of stars. If industrialized civilizations are even moderately common, then the universe must be teeming with them. And if they are out there, do they know about us? A civilization capable of planetary-scale industrial activity for millennia would surely possess astronomical capabilities far exceeding our own. They would have detected Earth's own biosphere, our own fledgling techno-signatures, long ago. Are we under observation? Is our little planet a protected reserve, a do-not-disturb zone in a galactic community we are not yet deemed ready to join? The very existence of GA749b, if confirmed as an industrial world, validates decades of research by those on the fringes, those who looked at UFO-UAP phenomena, at ancient astronaut theories, at subtle anomalies in astronomical data, and dared to ask the forbidden questions. It suggests that the universe is not only stranger than we imagine, but stranger than we can imagine, and that powerful forces have a vested interest in keeping us in the dark. The fear of cultural contamination, of societal disruption, of losing control. These are the fears that motivate censorship and secrecy. But the truth, especially a truth of this magnitude, has an energy all its own. So we stand at a precipice. On one side, the comfortable, officially sanctioned view of a largely empty universe where humanity is special, perhaps unique. On the other, the staggering, terrifying, and exhilarating reality hinted at by the poisoned skies of GA749b, a cosmos alive with intelligence, with technology, with civilizations whose capabilities and motivations remain a profound mystery. NASA's silence, their carefully worded non-denials, are becoming increasingly deafening. They are caught between the rock of their own groundbreaking discovery and the hard place of a global paradigm they are desperate to maintain. But what happens next? The data from JWST is, by its very nature, accessible to a wide range of scientists globally, even if initial access is restricted. Can they truly keep a lid on something this monumental indefinitely? Or will more brave souls within these organizations decide that humanity has a right to know? We are told this new exoplanet, GA749b, shows undeniable signs of industrial pollution, proof perhaps of an advanced civilization. But what kind of civilization? And what are their intentions towards a nascent species like ours, just now poking its head above the technological parapet? Are they a cautionary tale, a dying world that serves as a grim warning? Or are they something far more active, perhaps even expansionist? The silence from official channels is not just frustrating, it's deeply concerning. What are they discussing in those closed-door meetings? Are they planning a slow, controlled disclosure? Or are they desperately seeking a way to discredit their own multi-billion-dollar telescope's findings? The very fact that we, through our independent channels, are breaking this story should tell you everything about the official reluctance to confront this reality. What do you believe is happening on GA749b? Do you think these atmospheric readings are the definitive proof of an advanced alien civilization we've all been waiting for? Or is NASA simply covering up instrument malfunctions on an unprecedented scale? Let us know your theories, your insights, your fears in the comments section below. This conversation needs to happen, now more than ever. If you believe, as we do, that this information is too important to be suppressed, that humanity deserves to know the truth about its place in the universe, then please share this video. Share it with your friends, your family, on your social media. Force the conversation into the open. The more people who are aware, the harder it becomes for them to maintain the wall of silence. And most importantly, make sure you are subscribed to this channel and have clicked that notification bell. Our sources are indicating that this is just the tip of the iceberg. More data is expected, more analyses are being conducted in secret, and we are committed to bringing you the unvarnished, unfiltered truth as it emerges. The story of GA749b is far from over, and you will not want to miss the next explosive update. The universe is speaking. It's time we all started listening.